regions serve as vital trading hubs, with traders coming from all across Fiara to barter for precious moon silver. It is said that 100 sheep could not buy a pinch of pure moon silver. Though perhaps that is a tale spun by the hard-bargaining dwarves themselves.
You're free to go. But first, I have some questions. How did you end up as prisoners here?
Well, after we escaped, we kept on the move. We feared the Crown would come after us. Eventually, we found ourselves here. The townspeople were kind enough to take us in. Then those other dwarves showed up. We thought it was Leonon all over again.
What happened in Leonon? How did you escape?
It was a nightmare. One minute the soldiers were liberating us from those elves. The next they were torching our homes, cutting people down. We found an opening in the village wall and ran into the woods, never looked back.
I'm looking for information about a woman named Jerfina.
Jerfina?
You know her?
Yes, of course. She's the reason we're alive.
Did you meet her in the village?
Yeah, she'd come around now and then, tend to any sick and injured. Poor girl. She shouldn't have stayed.
What happened to her?
I don't know, I'm sorry. She realized before anyone else that the soldiers weren't there to save us. She convinced us to run. Blazes, we would have been too worried about our belongings if not for her.
She didn't go with you?
No, she stayed behind to help others escape. If you find Daniel, you could ask him. He's the last one who saw her.
Is he another survivor?
Yes. Bloodburn took his mother. Soldiers took the rest of his family.
He's not here?
He ran off when the Windhomers started rounding everyone up. He's a smart lad. Probably hid somewhere to avoid capture.
Okay, I'll find him. Farewell.
Wait, Wolfguard. I don't know why you care about Jerfina, but you should know she was a good person. Kind. But even if she did manage to escape, she wouldn't have had long. She had the early symptoms of the blood burn.
I see. Thank you for telling me. I'm looking for information.
Jerfina? Yes, of course. She's the
What happened?
No, she stayed behind.
He's not.
He ran off when the Windhome...
Okay, I see. Thank you for telling me. That's all for now. Out of the way.
I'm glad they put it all in the same space.
What do you require?
It must
Stupid
be
wolf.
done.
Tell me.
What Pilskin want?
Take them out!
Lead on.
They will fall.
Nice.
That storage looks like it would be a good hiding place.
Yes. Let's take a look. Locked. Daniel, are you in there?
Who are you? How do you know my name?
I'm General Erev. The Windholm dwarves have been dealt with. It's safe to come out now.
Royals? Blazes. Oh, okay, I'll unlock the door. I can't remember how long I was in there. So, you're a general, huh? The others, are they...
They're fine. The Windholmers are gone.
Oh, thank the Guardians. I heard the fighting earlier. I told Iban it wasn't safe to stay in the town, but he insisted it was fine. So, why are you here? What do you want?
I'm looking for information about Jerfina. The others said you were the last one who saw her.
Oh, Yes, I was with her. We were making our way out of the village when some rubble fell on her. I swear I heard the soldiers chasing us and there wasn't any time, so I...
You left her behind?
Look, I had to, right? General Noria's soldiers were on our heels and they would have killed us both if I'd stayed with her. And no, I'm not proud of what I did. I pray every day for the Guardian's forgiveness.
If you're ashamed of what you did, you could have lied. Why tell me the truth?
Why? Because I still have nightmares about that moment. I could see the look on her face. She knew, and yet her eyes were pleading. She was scared. I've prayed to the Guardians every day to take away this burden, and now here you are with your questions. There's no point in running from the truth.
You did what you had to in the moment to survive. No one can fault you for that.
Can't they? I keep telling myself that it was better this way. She had the blood burn, you know. We all saw what happened to its victims.
So she would have died either way.
Yes, and yet, knowing that doesn't make me feel any better. Why do you want to know about her anyway?
Her brother asked me to find out what happened to her. All he wants is closure.
So that's why he sent that tracker after us. Well, tell him she died a hero. The blood burn, the rubble, he doesn't need to know that. What matters is she saved us.
I'll keep that in mind.
Right. Anyway, I should go find the others. Thanks again for saving us from the Windholmers. Guardians watch over you, General.
Yes.
Well, at least the ambassador will get some closure.
Are you going to tell him the full story? Sometimes the truth digs deeper wounds.
I'll think about it.
The truth will set you free. Come on now.
War after war has scarred Fiora, altering the tides of power across much of the continent. In Northander, a fragile hope for peace drives the efforts to rebuild a ravaged kingdom. A new beginning dawns for the Morhir as their new settlement finally takes shape, while the
Sleep is nice. Oh, that's right.
The journey back to Greykeep is uneventful. At the nightly campfires, you overhear your men discussing the events of your mission. While there is anger and disbelief, there's also something else. Fear. Only 3 years have passed since the last war. You can't allow another.
If it isn't the puny Paleskin, yes?
Here's that spirit essence you...
Splendid! Just give me a moment, and prepare yourself. My wares are known to blow the wearer's minds.
I'm sure I'll be impressed.
No, I'm not speaking metaphorically. Looking at Virgil's fine craftsmanship is known to cause aneurysms in my clients.
How often does that happen?
More often than you think. But, what is life without a touch of risk and adventure? I can craft you different variants, choose which one suits you, and then brace yourself.
Restore 17 focus to user. The user heals the user. Ooh. Heal definitely.
Here it is. The relic to rule them all. Its magical properties will surely help you dominate anyone on the battlefield. And take this too. It's a little byproduct from my crafting. With it, you can burn corpses to your heart's content. No oil required.
I don't want to...
Well met. Oh, Sarak's fangs. Wait, if you happen to stumble upon more grudge-bearing spirits, bring me their essence. I might be able to hammer even more power into your trinket.
Okay. Thank you, Burgle. I have to be going.
Yes, yes, do as you please. Now, back to work.
Okay.
What is it?
The best wares from Kalea to Northander.
We're just going to buy all this. And we're selling some of this. That's just pure loot. Very good.
Pleasure doing business with you. Come again. I'm getting new wares by the next moon's turn.
Huh.
Yes? Want to trade?
Interesting.
Good choice. Armors and shields. Everything from copper daggers to moon silver swords.
Yes.
All that just lowers the cost of building those, I think.
What's this?
Axes, daggers, swords. Everything for the wary traveler.
Ooh, just living targets in general. All four of that is actually pretty good ones. You're gonna take that.
A fair offer. Hey, you're an adventurer, aren't you? Come take a look. I'm sure I've got something that might spark your interest.
Why not?
Come again.
I have $1
May
million.
Tiara bless your path.
Is necromancy considered black magic? I'm guessing it is. Well, that's creepy and ominous. Light and nature. Interesting. Never thought to combine the two.
Looking for potions and scrolls? I'm sure I have just what you need. Farewell.
Keep it up.
Yes, yes, come closer. I'm sure I have just what you need. You know how to bargain, don't you?
What do we have here?
Yes? Want to trade?
Oh, wow. Oh, I already have this. Cool. I'll take that though.
Pleasure doing business with you. Come again. I'm getting new wares by the next moon's turn.
Oh, that's such an awesome helmet.
What's
Armors
this?
and shields. Everything from copper daggers to moon silver swords. A fair offer.
Huh. Interesting.
The throne hall, the inviolable inner sanctum of Greykeep.
All right. Time to report to Her Majesty.
Let's talk later, shall we?
Oh, she wants to talk now. Perfect.
General, I was hoping you'd come by. Do you have time for a chat?
Sure. What is it?
Well, I wanted to apologize. You know, for being so reserved when you first arrived. It's just, I miss Tahar. So damn much.
I can imagine.
I miss her too.
What was your relationship?
Oh, no. We weren't lovers. Tell me, General, do you have someone you truly call your friend? Someone who just understands you? Someone who you know will always have your back?
Not really, no.
Then it will probably be hard for you to relate. Especially in the months after the wars. We'd have these long talks. Sometimes over a mug of ale. Sometimes just walking through the keep. Tahar was the first person I felt I could tell anything to. No judgments or assumptions. I think it's rare to find someone you can just, I don't know, trust. But here's the thing, General. Tahar was struggling. Nightmares, hallucinations, panic attacks. The list goes on. I mean, how would you feel if you had to kill your own mother after just finding out she was still alive?
Tahar was traumatized. That's what you're saying, isn't it?
Yes. It wasn't a well-known fact either. Tahar made sure of that. To everyone else, it looked like the Wolfguard had a hero for a leader, but not me. So when news of those disappearances reached us, and the brave hero of the Purity Wars insisted the Wolfguard should investigate, I argued it was a bad idea. It was too rash of a decision, too risky, and I told Tahar just that. Our last words were in anger, right here in the Wolf Chamber. And that just breaks my heart.
Do you think the trauma played a role in Tahar's death?
As in, did it lead to some poor decision-making? Yeah, I do.
You can't blame yourself for what happened. You were only trying to help a friend.
Yeah, part of me knows that. Anyway, sorry for the monologue. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if I ever behave like a complicated princess again, then it's probably because I need some more time to process.
I understand.
Hey, can I ask you something, General?
What?
That charm you're always wearing. What's the story behind it? I might be wrong, but I get the feeling that it's, I don't know, important to you?
Oh, that? Someone gave it to me. Back in Imperia.
I see. Sorry, I didn't mean to pry.
That's all right. You can ask me anything.
You're going to regret saying that. I guess I'll see you around, General, won't I? Thanks for the chat.
No.
General, what is it?
Oh my god.
What are your thoughts on the mission?
My thoughts? Why?
Just wondering.
Well, what is there to say? The last thing this country needs right now is a war with crazy dwarves, or some ancient god swallowing it whole. Though I had hoped for a longer respite, to be honest. 2 years since the wars, and here we are again at the verge of yet another one.
Well, make sure it doesn't come to that.
Your words in Ellen's ear, General.
I'd like to know more about the Purity Wars. About your fight against Rondar Lacane.
To be honest, I'd rather not talk about it.
How come?
Because it brings up memories that I'd rather leave buried for now. You know, some of the things we saw in that journey, I don't think I'll ever forget them. The smelter, the massacres committed by the Bane. Let's change the subject, all right?
Could you tell me more about the Circle?
Sure. Shoot.
Why was the Circle formed?
What, they didn't tell you? My, you really have some catching up to do. Short answer? Because of the Mage Wars and the Purity. First, a mage abused his power in an attempt to overthrow the crown. Then a demagogue turned the table and orchestrated a genocide of everyone with enough magic to light a candle. After we defeated Lacane, it was clear that we could never ever let something like this happen again.
And so the Queen formed the Circle?
Oh, not just the Queen. She and Tahar initiated it. But the idea is for every country on Io to legitimize it as an independent entity representing the face of magic. The orcs have already recognized it, and so have the more here. And once Circle Mage Undergast is done convincing the Everlight Mayor, he'll move on to the Exalted Father, and later Kalaya and Zoo. In the long run, we're also not going to stay here in Greykeep. Rowan suggested turning Mullendeer into the Circle's headquarters, but I'm not sure about that. I guess we'll see.
What exactly is the Circle's purpose? To control the use of magic?
More than that. We're here to give mages across Fiara a voice. See, one of the reasons why the Purity Wars happened was because mages just made for such damn good scapegoats. Deviant, potentially dangerous, sometimes ashamed of their nature. You get the idea, don't you?
I do. The ideal canvas for fear-mongering.
Exactly. The Circle is here to prevent that from ever happening again. We represent mages' interests, and we're the ones who will stand up if yet another hate-monger tries to use us for his power games. But at the same time, we also ensure that mages themselves don't abuse their power, as Tahar's father did. Magic can be dangerous, and only a fool would deny that. There need to be laws, rules, and supervision. And that's what we provide.
Who are the other Circle mages? There are 7 of you, right?
Yeah. Undergast, Gore, Uram, Iana, Iskrim, and Rowan. And surprise, All of them are out doing fancy things while I'm condemned to confer with nobles all day long. Though, admittedly, that has changed a little since you came here.
Who's Iana?
Long story. Suffice it to say that she's a woman with extraordinary abilities. A dreamweaver. She's currently overseeing the construction of the new Morhir city up north.
Gore. He's the High Chieftain of the Great Tribe, isn't he?
Yeah.
Where is he now?
In Barga Gore, of course, leading the Great Call.
Isgrim. He's the Earthshaper, isn't he? I heard about him.
Earthshaper, archaeologist, shaper enthusiast? Yes. He's up in Wolfgar, digging up bones and dusting off trinkets.
Now that I think about it, a lot of our previous party members are in the main campaign are mages, huh?
Undergast. I think I've heard that name before. Wasn't he the head of the Creators Guild?
He still is. He's currently negotiating with the Everlight Mayor, Phelan Argyle. They still refuse to accept the Circle.
Uram. Was that the demonologist? The ambassador told me about him.
I bet he did. Yeah, he's a demonologist.
Where is he?
In the Scorching Desert, helping the Iron Falcons improve the seal of the Fieldar tomb. An endeavor long overdue, if you ask me.
Rowan. Should I know him?
I don't think so. Rowan was Isamo Tahar's right hand during the Mage Wars.
Wait, and he's a part of the Circle now? Isn't that a bit contradictory?
It is, but he switched sides after the war and helped us with our fight against the Purity. I still don't like him, though. He's vain and a bit too concerned with his own ambitions for my liking. To be honest, I'm glad he's not in the keep right now.
Any idea when they'll return?
Once their missions are completed, I guess. And that might be a while.
How were the members of the Circle chosen? You had no ties to the Crown before, did you?
Ties to the Crown? On the contrary. We might as well have been the ensemble of a Chilean freak show. What we all have in common, though, is that we played a pivotal role in ending the Purity Wars. And that Tahar trusted us. Also, our different backgrounds made us ideal for the role. An elf from Finnenmere, a fire wielder orc, a demonologist from Kalea. The list goes on. The Circle's responsibility is to give a face to magic. And if that face is a fat, perfumed bureaucrat, we'd be back with another mage-persecuting cult in no time. What the Queen wanted for the Circle was people from all walks of life with one thing in common. Magic.
Makes sense. Was Tahar a Circle mage too?
No. Tahar's responsibility was the Wolf Guard. But we worked closely together. Was. It still feels strange to say it.
Couldn't the Queen call the other Circle mages back to help us with our mission?
She could, but I don't think that's wise.
Why not?
Because their missions are equally important. While our mission's purpose is to prevent catastrophe, theirs have to do with restoration. With, you know, making things better. Which is a welcome development, if you ask me. If the only thing the Crown does is prevent the world from falling apart rather than trying to cement its foundations, I doubt this era of peace will last.
What's your take on our companions?
Oh, so we're doing the gossip thing? Sure, why not? Who?
How do you feel about Wraith?
Good question. To be honest, there's something about him that, I don't know, makes me melancholic. He tries not to show it, but it's always there. It reminds me of Tahar a little, and that worries me. But if there's one thing I have no doubts about, it's his commitment to our mission. Either way, anyone else?
How do you feel about Wraith?
He tries not, but if there's one, either way.
So, tell me a little more about yourself.
Personal or professional interest?
A bit of both.
I see. Well, here's the deal. Ask me what you want, but I get to ask something in return.
All right. Do you miss Finnenmere sometimes? Your homeland?
Not really. Though sometimes there are those nights when I get nostalgic. I think of the giant trees, the towering buildings, and the tranquility. And I wonder what my life would be like if I had stayed there, though I'm probably just romanticizing the past. I'm very good at that.
What do you do when you're not out in the field or working for the Circle?
You're asking about my pastimes? That's unexpected. I like nature. And I play cards.
Cards? You mean you gamble?
Sometimes, yeah. Not for high stakes, though. It's really just for fun. There are a couple of playing clubs down in Greyfell. You play too?
At times. We should play around someday.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I'll let you know the next time I'm heading down.
Well, thanks for letting me know.
Hold on. You're not getting off that easy. My question. Okay. I hope this isn't too personal. Was there ever someone in your life? Like a significant other?
There was, yeah.
I thought so. I'd ask who it was, but this probably isn't the time and the place, so maybe some other day? I'm curious. Where were we?
So, what are your plans for the future?
You mean plans as in settle down, get fat with children, and grow old knitting in my rocking chair?
Is that what you want?
Not really. I mean, someday, yeah, but as you might know, in elven terms, I'm barely an adult. Also, I was never good with plans. Things change all the time, so what's the point anyway?
You have to make some plans.
Well, they never worked for me.
Stay close.
Companion interaction.
This
Can I
way.
talk to him?
Let's talk later, shall we?
Okay. Let's go turn in this side quest, talk to the queen, and see where that leads us. Oh.
Restore Windwall to its former glory. This is worse than I thought.
I don't get it. And the people actually buy into this rubbish?
I am not surprised. King Rorik was never popular. He was a bad ruler, volatile and cruel. It is not half as bad as this Arrakis makes it out to be, but Windholm did suffer under him. It is only logical to long for a savior after a period of hardship.
We should send an emissary. Maybe we can resolve this through diplomacy.
We tried this while you were gone. The gate guards sent our diplomat right back, and made it very clear that they have no intention of listening to human lies anymore.
Oh, well, that takes care of that. Whoever this priest is, we need to stop him. He's dangerous.
Hold on, General. Windholm isn't our responsibility. Shouldn't we let the dwarves resolve this matter on their own?
Dracot was the second time they have attacked Nortander, and it might not be the last. I will think on the matter. Either way, you did well, General. There is one more matter I want you to look into for your proving, and it's of equal importance. Skadar?
Sure, I'll make it short. I believe that the entity Rondar Kane mistook for Aenir is attempting to re-enter our world.
The God of Light.
You don't sound too surprised.
I had a suspicion. Anyway, please keep going.
Of course. General Erev, have you ever heard of the Tapestry of Souls?
No.
It's a pattern. Every sentient creature has a spark of magic, a flame linked directly to the Archfire, the essence of life. I've noticed a change in this pattern, An irregularity, if you will.
Iria. The Circle and the Greykeep scholars have surely researched the God of Light after the Purity, haven't they? What do you know about it?
Very little. It's an entity from a place between realities that will devour a world once it enters it. Also, several religions and myths mention it, especially those from the early days of Io. An ancient god, in other words. There's a promising lead we're currently following, but it's too early to tell yet.
Now you've sparked my interest.
Did you just say a place between realities?
Right. I always forget that so few people know about this.
That's because these other realities hardly affect our own world. People care only as far as their eyes can see. But yes, General, there is more than just our reality. Billions of them, to be precise. Some of them alike, others so alien that our minds couldn't even grasp them. But this is a complicated topic. If you want to know more, we can talk later.
I see. You're well informed about this. How come?
Well, probably because it's my profession. Before I became an exile, I studied the... how should I put it? The ethereal aspects of life. Birth and death, the miracle of consciousness, the nature of reality. There is far more to the world than the eye can see.
That's a lot of ground to cover.
Maybe, but they are all of a similar nature. Phenomena that cannot be grasped by observation alone.
What kind of irregularity did you observe?
Hard to describe. In keeping with the metaphor, if every living being is a flame, then the entirety of life would be millions of lights in darkness. Lately, lights are dying out in a strange pattern. Entire clusters all at once.
Battles, maybe?
In battles, people die one after another. In quick succession, maybe, but not all at once. This isn't the case here. Imagine 50 candles standing next to each other, all smothered by a sudden fist.
And what makes you think these vanishings have anything to do with the God of Light?
Well, that's hard to describe to a layman. Roughly put, they are similar to what happened in the Tapestry of Souls when Rondar Lacane opened the tear back in the Purity Wars to let the God of Light into our world. It was like something shifted. But while that shift was like an earthquake back then, these vanishings feel like little tremors.
I see. Could the dwarves be behind this soul vanishing? High Hierophant Ericus?
I doubt it. The only magic dwarves are capable of is earth-shaping. And even if they were able to tamper with the Tapestry of Souls, I don't see what they'd gain from it. That isn't to say that you're wrong. I just don't think it's likely.
Fair enough. Let me summarize. You think the God of Light is planning a return into our world, and it shows through an irregularity in the Tapestry of Souls?
That's correct.
And you're here because you want to stop him?
I took the liberty to assume that's what we all want, so yes. But if you need another incentive to pursue this, I think finding the cause of the vanishings can also help the Crown to put another matter at rest. Tahar's death.
How?
Well, Tahar was killed while investigating rumors of disappearances around small villages, correct? As it happens, I only recently observed another occurrence of this soul vanishing in a village in La, the Dark Elven realm.
You think Tahar's death and these vanishings are connected?
It's a possibility.
Even if there is no connection, Skadar is right. Investigating this threat is in all our interests. General Aref, you and the Wolf Guard will examine this recent case of the soul vanishing in Lar. Try to find out what is behind this, and whether it is indeed connected to the God of Light, or maybe even to Tahar. Wraith Skadar and his mercenaries will accompany you.
Mercenaries?
The Black Company.
What if the Purity is behind both? The vanishings and Tahar's death?
It's possible, though I don't see how they would accomplish that. Also, their goal was to bring Aenir into the world, not the God of Light.
Perhaps they worship this new god.
I doubt it, but we'll find out soon enough.
Isn't it risky to send the Wolf Guard after another case of disappearances?
Yes, it is. One more reason to stay vigilant.
But why do you need the Crown's help for this? Why not ask your own people instead?
Because he has been exiled.
Correct. I have abandoned my role in the Exalted Father's realm, and even though I would deal with this threat myself, it exceeds my means. Which is why I came here for help.
How come you abandoned your country?
Personal reasons.
And why make this your responsibility?
Because the end of the world would affect me as much as it would affect you. I'm not an idealist, General Erev, but this threat is too big for anyone to ignore.
I understand.
Good.
What do we need mercenaries for? The Wolf Guard has troops.
Well, I have reason to believe that this mission will require a specific set of skills which your men don't possess. Dark Elven skills, if you want. And don't worry, as I have a personal interest in seeing this matter resolved, I have already accounted for the expenses, at least for this mission.
It is better this way. Moving a Nortandian battalion into Dark Elven territory would be a political tightrope act. If it's just contractors, well, no one can prove that they are working for us.
What is the Black Company?
Dark Elven ex-military. They are new on the market. But for what it's worth, their leader is an acquaintance of mine, so I know they are reliable.
The village is about a week's journey from here, so you and the company will set out as soon as possible. Go there and find out what happened. This audience is concluded.
What?
General, did you have any luck tracking down those survivors?
I did. They knew your sister.
And do they know what happened to her?
She helped them escape. As she was trying to get out herself, she was caught under some rubble. The soldiers were closing in, so the others had to leave her.
So, they left her to die.
Ambassador. She also had the blood burn. She wasn't going to make it either way.
But she could have come home. She didn't have to die alone.
Would she really have? How much was known about the blood burn at that time? Don't you think she would have stayed away to keep you safe?
I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter now. Please excuse me, General. I wish to be alone right now.
Ooh.
General, is there anything I can help you with?
So long.
Tiara's light, General.
He
Yes.
said to come talk to him, right? If I want to know more. And I want to know more. I don't know what this Bastion of Triumph is. That's a Song of Triumph.
What do
Let's
we
talk later, shall we?
Really?
General, what is it?
I'll see you around.
Yep.
War after war has scarred Fiara, altering the tides of power across much of the continent. In Nortander, a fragile hope for peace drives the efforts to rebuild a ravaged kingdom. A new beginning dawns.
Ooh, that's really far south. and mercenaries, of course.
Fair enough. Let's do this.
Light rain falls from an overcast sky as you and the Black Company leave the Greyfell walls behind you. It continues for days. The lands are enfolded in a strange half-light, as though the sun has lost part of its vigor. Still, there's a sense of awakening all around you. Children play on the village streets. Farmers work their acres with weary but content faces. Maybe the Queen was right, you think, as you retire to your tent after the first day's journey. Maybe this is the cusp of a new era. Sleep comes quickly.
The dream? Something's different this time.
You? Now that's unexpected.
What are you talking about, ma'am?
You've come here 100 times, but your mind was never willing to let you pass this point. Yet here you are, and something about you is different. What is it, I wonder? Did you finally stop trying to outrun your shadow?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Now can we stop this folly and continue on to your village? The Dawn Reapers won't wait for us.
As you command, General. Where were we? Right. You and I were on our way to meet your Colonel Rickus in Cavil and organize the village defenses. To avoid the roaming orcs that you ordered my son, Kieran, to deal with, we took a secret path. Go ahead, General. Step through.
I'm listening.
Her backstory, really interesting to me.
If you don't mind my saying, General, I see why my son admires you. You're a good leader.
What makes you say that?
Well, you're not afraid to put your own life on the line for the greater good. You could have just stayed back at the outpost, but you didn't, for the sake of my village. That's the hallmark of a great leader.
The Crown doesn't seem to agree with that.
What do you mean?
There's another Nortandian general serving in Imperia at the moment. Karis. Last week, the Crown decided to promote him instead of me to Major General. Even though he does nothing but sit on his hands all day.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's just a title. What do we have here? Huh. Interesting. Out of the way. Over here.
All right.
A dead orc. Huh.
What is he doing so close to the village? I don't get it, General. You said they wouldn't arrive before nightfall.
According to our scouts, they shouldn't. I'm sorry, I don't understand this myself. Still, no reason to panic. Their main horde can't have possibly made it past the Red Ridge yet. And even if they did, Colonel Rickus is already there.
But...
It's going to be all right. Now, where's your village? We shouldn't waste any more time.
Okay, I'll show you. Follow me.
Follow you, and yet you're still following me.
Another barrier.
And here we are again. I had a feeling this would happen.
What? What is this?
Didn't I tell you already? It's your cowardice. Yes, you've shoveled away some of the earth, but it seems as though you're still not ready to see the corpse buried beneath. But I understand, Arab. If I were you, I'd be scared too. Now go, will you? It's time to wake up.
Already?
You bolt awake. Save for the chirping of cicadas and the crackling of the brazier in your general's tent, there's silence. With a sigh, you let yourself fall back into your bed, trying to make sense of what just happened. An hour later, just as the blackbirds and swamp pheasants start their song, you get up and take a walk through the quiet camp. The same day, in the early afternoon hours, you arrive at the border of the Loranian swamp. According to the maps, the village where the occurrence took place is near.
Here we are, the Loranian swamp.
Not the most hospitable of places. Is there a reason dark elves settle in caves?
Because they are easy to defend. I pinpointed the soul vanishing to a small village deeper in the swamp. It's off the map, but we should be close. I suggest we take a look at it while the Black Company set up camp in the south.
And are you certain they can be relied on? We need them armed and ready if anything happens.
They'll be ready when we need them. Shall we, General? General.
What? Oh, yes, sure. Sorry, I didn't sleep well.
So I heard. Let's be off.
Yes?
Oh, this is gonna be all RPG? That's unfortunate.
That way?
I hope we actually get to build some units.
Ralsane! Pale bloods!
By the... Wait, we don't mean any harm. We...
Kill them!
Tiara's breath. Why did they attack us? Who were they?
Infiltrators. Dark elven soldiers. Claws, this is bad. Come, let's talk to the survivor.
Hello? Are you all right? Strange. He doesn't even seem to be aware of us.
Reminds me an awful lot of that dwarf we found in Windwall. The one with the archaeologist.
Of course. Wraith, what do you make of this?
He's empty.
I beg your pardon?
This man. Somebody siphoned his soul. That's... interesting.
Do you think these dark elves did this?
That's the most obvious explanation, isn't it? The question is how they did it. I've never seen anything like it.
Just like the dwarf in Windwall, then.
Not quite. That dwarf in Windwall still had a bit of his soul left, as though only a part of it had been extinguished. This man is gone. Completely and utterly gone.
How do you know his soul's gone?
I told you it's my profession. Normally, every living being has a flame, which dies if that being's shell ceases to function. This man's body, however, still appears intact. Only his essence is gone.
That's ghastly.
In other words, someone stole his soul?
His essence, yes. He can't hear, he can't feel, he can't think. He's been turned into a hull.
Then I guess we found the cause of these soul vanishings, didn't we? And whoever is responsible for it.
Probably, but let's not jump to conclusions. Let's see what happened in this village first.
Agreed. Wait. What's happening?
No! Damn it!
Pathetic!
Guardians, what was that? He transformed.
He did.
Why, though? Do you think he reacted to our presence?
No. No, I don't think so. It almost felt as though someone did this.
You mean someone knows we're here and turned this man into that thing?
Probably the one who took his soul. I suggest we find that village as fast as we can, General.
Agreed. Let's stay on our guards. This way.
I've been thinking. Wraith, could this irregularity perhaps be a mutation of the Bloodburn? Telepathy, stolen minds? It sounds similar, doesn't it?
No.
What makes you so sure?
Because I did little else but study the Bloodburn after it took my family. It has nothing to do with this.
Your family?
Let's find the village, shall we?
Yes.
Ooh, a little tidbit on Wraith.
They will die by my hand.
Move in.
I like those. Are those flumps?
Consider
We're
it
technically
done.
in the Underdark.
It will be done.
I think those are flumps. I like
Get
flumps.
ready.
They're adorable.
See that bridge over there? That's the...
More dark elves! Look out!
All right. Let's take a look at that village.
And keep our weapons ready.
Yes. You got it.
Tiara's breath. Are they all...
Siphoned, yes. Just as I expected.
Guardians. Now what? Are they going to transform too?
We should prepare for the worst. Let's...
The light, feed the light. The black one carries the mirror.
Did you hear that?
Yes. One of them is still alive.
What's this?
The light, feed the light. The black one will carry the horde.
That's... strange. Has he been siphoned too, Wraith?
His soul is still intact, so no. His condition must have another cause.
I know that look on his face. Catatonia. Whatever happened here must have traumatized him so severely that his mind went into a state of shock.
But why didn't whoever siphoned the village take his soul too?
Good question.
What happened here?
The light, feed the light. The black one will carry the horde.
What's your name?
The light, feed the light. The black one will carry the horde.
Maybe we could... Do you see that? There's a scar on his fore... No. It's a word. Samsa. Is that his name?
Mother? Is that you?
Norse claws. He thinks... Play along, General.
Yes. It's me, Samsa.
They took their mother. They took them all and fed them to the horde.
What's wrong with him? He's acting like a child.
He's feeble-minded. Probably the townspeople used him as some kind of village fool. Just play along, General.
Fair enough. Who did? The Dark Elves? Please, tell me what happened here.
I don't wanna.
Well, it's the only way I can protect you. Tell me, Samsa. Please.
It was in the morning, and it was very cold, and I was at the village square, and then the masked people came. Everybody was scared of them, you know? A lady led them, but she was also masked, so nobody could see her face. She ordered everybody to come to the town square to make an announcement. They didn't want to, but they had swords, so they came anyway. Then when all the people were there, she raised the mirror.
A mirror?
The Horde of Souls. That's what she called it. Some people were scared and they tried to run, but the soldiers wouldn't let them. She then said that they'd all feed the light now, and then the horde started glowing, and then it started eating people, and then it was so terrible, but they just wouldn't stop. They just wouldn't stop. When it was over, everybody was silent. So I was silent too. The woman looked at the horde and left.
Helen's reigns.